Okay guys, welcome back to Six Cars and welcome to the Big D, Detroit. We are here for the Hagerty Detroit Concours d'Elegance. We did this last year. This is the event where the SLR Sterling Moss showed up. So there's always some really crazy surprises. Detroit's got some huge secrets hiding in the Motor City, so I'm sure this event's gonna be really good. The diversity and the selection of cars is always awesome. So we're gonna head right in, guys. After you hit subscribe, like, comment, and share, let's go. Some really cool design concept studies here from Ford, from the museum. So they're not really named or anything. They are just simply concept designs. And as you can see, they're very unique. You can see the coupe body style over there, and then you can see the convertible here. And if we look at the badging in the back here, it does say Cobra. And if you're wondering why it says Cobra, that's because these are actually built on original Shelby Cobras, and then they just changed all of the bodywork on it for the sole purpose of experimenting with designs. So yeah, you can sort of see how the coupe eventually evolved into the convertible a couple years later, and we can only imagine that was used, or some of the styling cues on this car were used for various Ford models throughout the years. But then as you again look inside, you've got the Cobra steering wheel, the Cobra badging, everything like that. And yeah, you can see it's got a bit of some markings on it. It's unrestored condition, which is pretty cool. It's just never been touched since it left the factory, basically. That is such a cool two-pack of cars to see there. So this bad boy right here is the Farrago prototype from 1969 that you can see is coach built based off of a Pontiac. I'm not even sure which Pontiac this is based off of, but the design is quite unique. The funniest part to me is the hood is so damn long. I think parallel parking this would be an absolute nightmare. But look at the back of it. These huge back seats. Well, actually they're not as big as I thought. Just a ton of trunk space. But yeah, I guess somebody came up with an idea for design and the boss just said go with it, and this is what they came up with. It's pretty damn unique, I have to say. Okay, this weird oddity here is a Tasco prototype. So it's designed by a guy named Gordon Burig, who to my understanding is a local designer, and I guess he went a little crazy in 1948 because there are so many weird touches on this thing. This is the weirdest taillight design I've ever seen. It's basically got its own housing and just a big bubble at the back. These weird little exhaust pipes. It's essentially an open wheel car too, even though it has the wheel coverings on it. It is open wheel, but then look at the interior. This is so bizarre. You can see those little levers inside controlling the throttle, the lights, the wiper blades, everything. Yet there's still pedals down there, so I'm not really sure if that maybe just turns the throttle on and then you can use it. Either way, it's incredibly unique. Look at the the original panoramic roof, basically, you can call that. It's just all windows. There really is no roof to it. And have a look at the front too. This is one of the weirdest looking cars I have ever seen. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Tasco prototype. Some nice classic Ferraris. We'll start here with the 330 GTC. I've always kind of liked this design. It has a 2+2 variant, but this is obviously not the 2+2, just the two-seater, but it's a nice, like, sort of silvery, almost blue. Bit of green to it as well. I like the color. Got a Dino over here, and then I'm gonna look at the two cars next to it because they are quite special. So this is the 365 GTC4. Now, you're probably more familiar with the 365 GTB Daytona, which this is based off of, but this is essentially a two-seater, or 2+2 rather, variant of the 365 Daytona. So you can see back there are two seats that are folded down, but these are pretty damn rare. I think it was only a 2-year run they gave this car, and only 505 were ever built. So that is pretty damn rare and pretty cool to see. I also like this like dark red. It's almost got a brown to it. And the final classic Ferrari I want to show you guys is right over here. Now this is easily the most special car in this Ferrari lineup, and absolutely the most special car we have here at the Detroit Concours, the 250 California Spider. So obviously these are incredibly rare. This is a 1963 short wheelbase variant. Now, the special thing about this in particular is that the original owner was actually Enzo Ferrari himself. I believe this is the third owner. He's had it for like over 40 years now. You can see pretty much everything in the interior is all original. You can even see Enzo Ferrari with the second owner's picture there in the seat. He's got all the documents to back it up. This is the real deal. And if you're wondering how much the 250 California Spider is worth, well, in 2023 Amelia Island auctions, we did have a 250 California Spider short wheelbase sell for 18 million US dollars. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there. It is a incredibly rare and special car. And there are a few modern Ferraris behind the classics as well, but this is the one that really stands out obviously that I wanted to show you guys. The 812 Competizione. We've seen a few of these on the channel now, mostly at Car Week, but this spec is absolutely beautiful. I'm not even sure what blue this is, if it's Pawsey or TDF blue, but popping against the red accents. Of course, the red stripe Pirelli P0s, the red calipers do look really good, and then the interior is like full red Alcantara as well. You can just get a look at the seats there. Absolutely beautiful looking spec on the 812 Comp. Final year of the Lamborghini Diablo, 2001, the 6.0. So obviously it's the facelift, ditch the pop-up headlights, which I still prefer the pop-ups, but still looks good nonetheless. It's a Diablo. It's aged so damn well. This is in like pristine condition too. Can't even really see any swirl marks, and finished in yellow again. Yeah, it's just so good. And we also do have a nice matte black SVJ Roadster there, but the Espada is what's really catching my attention behind the Diablo. I want to show that to you guys right now. Here, just behind the Diablo, obviously you can see matte black SVJ, but this Espada is what's sticking out to me, finished in orange. A lot of cool little features on this car, so different from any other Lamborghini. You can see these like F40 style NACA ducts on the hood, but then what's really cool inside is it does have a matching orange interior to match that orange exterior, and of course 2+2, which yeah, not many Lamborghinis came with 4 seats. Of course we have the Urus nowadays, but with this sort of saloon styling, we have not really seen another 2+2 for a very long time from Lamborghini. And the rear trunk is pretty damn cool. A little bit of a windshield, or just like a piece of glass on the back bumper, which is pretty damn unique and really cool. And obviously, more modern version of Lamborghini, the SVJ Roadster, finished in matte black, which just looks so sinister. And the white brake calipers on that, really good looking. It just pops against everything else that's finished in black and carbon fiber. It's a custom AMC AMX 400, and this is probably the main reason I love coming to the Detroit Concours. It's for these weird and crazy American concepts that you won't see anywhere else. You can see obviously it's so modified from the original car. This pointy front end, probably the unsafest thing I've seen in a long time. A pedestrian would not want to get hit by that thing. Another cool part is the side exit exhaust. Now usually when you have a side exit exhaust, it's generally coming out from underneath the car, but this one is just sticking right out of the side of the front quarter panel. That is crazy looking. And then the interior, look at that, it's all like walnut inside. That is pretty damn wild looking. Get a look at the back as well. All louvers. Have a look at that. That is so crazy. You can barely even see the rear taillights in this thing. That is damn cool. Awesome CUDA AAR. That was basically a street version of a Trans Am race car. AAR standing for All-American Racers, an incredibly famous racing team. I believe it was started by Dan Gurney, if I'm remembering correctly, that ran tons of cool cars over the decades. So that was basically the street version of the racing CUDA. Speaking of race cars, here is my absolute favorite car at the Detroit Concours this year. I'll flip over to this side. This is the Team Orica Viper GTSR from the 2024 Hours of Le Mans. Now, this is an incredibly special car because it actually won its class, LMGTS. I think the outright winner that year was Audi. I think that might have been the first of their like super dominant run with the Audi R8. But this Viper won the GTS class, and it's got the big French flag on it. Not for the race, but Team Orca was a French team. If you poke through the little fiberglass window here, you can see all of the race goodies there, all the controls for the lights, the ignition, the wipers, everything like that you need in a 24-hour race. And that tiny little steering wheel with the drink and the radio buttons on it. And shift around to the back here. It's just such a cool car. Anything involving Le Mans is awesome, but a class winner being on display here at the Detroit Concours is absolutely crazy. I was not expecting this. That is unbelievable. And just for comparison, there is the road version of this particular Gen Viper. Quite a bit different, but that is absolutely amazing to see this car. Nice 1970 Charger in black, the 4-barrel, that's really cool. And then if you flip over here, look at this, this is a 1970 Challenger with the shaker hood, and apparently it's the only shaker hood Challenger with this color combination, the white on the baby blue. And then check out the interior too, full baby blue. That is unbelievable, and it's in like pristine condition as well. That is so cool to see. And then if we're referencing the modern day Challengers, if you buy the Scat Pack, that's the shaker hood that you get with it. So now you can see where the original inspiration came from. That's a very cool looking car. I do like that unique color combo too. Okay, this is one of the OG Dodge Darts, the GTS, that had the 440 in it. Not many came with this engine. The funny thing about this car is that Dodge basically knew that people were just buying these to street race them, so it came with this, a special warranty that stated that some of the drivetrain components were not included under the warranty because they knew exactly what people were going to be doing with these things, and that was street racing them. So they basically would say, we'll sell you the car with this huge engine in it, but if you get in trouble, it's not our problem. So there's like a bit of a mutual agreement when you bought this car. But some pretty cool little history there with this Dodge Dart. There are just a ton of unique cars in this row here. This is probably my favorite row of the whole concourse. We already saw the Vipers and the other Mopar cars over there, but a nice E30 M3, C4 Corvette, this beautiful DC2 Integra Type R, which still has the USDM front bumper, which has these circular headlights. A lot of guys do the JDM conversion, so that replaces the circular headlights and gives it the rectangular headlights that you would see on the Japanese model. So this is actually pretty rare to see one that still has the USDM bumper, and it's just in mint condition. That is so cool to see. And the championship white on white is a pretty classic spec, so either this or the yellow obviously are the preferred choices. And just beside that DC2, more JDM goodness. Mark IV Supra, the twin turbo variant, and just perfect condition. Like, I don't even see a swirl mark in the paint. That looks absolutely beautiful, and nice to see that it's been properly maintained. And then over here we also have a nice NA1 NSX black on the white 5 spokes. Does look really good. Not Reagan Masters, but kind of has that vibe to them with the 5 spokes. And another car that's in really good condition. He's added the carbon fiber wing on the back, and the fitment is so perfect actually. Love the poke on it. Got a nice Testarossa over here as well. And let's see, 318 Ti Sports. That's a very rare BMW model, at least in the North American market. Don't see too many of these. A lot more compact than the other ones. And the classic old Alpine over here. Nice little section of Japanese cars here. The OG 240Z. Got a Datsun 2000 Roadster, a Nissan POW as well, which is a pretty cool little hatchback there. And yeah, the 2000 Roadster is also really nice and just in immaculate condition. Interior is really good looking, but there's also Skyline and an original Sylvia I want to show you guys. Possibly the rarest car of the bunch here in this little Japanese section. We have a 1966 Sylvia. So yeah, it's evolved quite a bit from the 60s to the 90s variations that we are all a lot more familiar with. Yeah, it's quite different looking, and only 554 of these original Sylvias were produced. I think it's like a 3-year run that they had. We're gonna have a quick look at the back too, but it's pretty damn cool to see this here. I've never seen one before. And just a back look at the OG Sylvia. Again, you can see it's clearly changed quite a bit from the S13s, 14s, and 15s that you guys are much more familiar with. But yeah, have a look at that interior. Pretty distinctly 1960s, not much going on in there. 72 Skyline, definitely the coolest looking thing out of the little JDM collection we have here. Some pretty interesting additions to it though. All the carbon fiber around the front grille, the Willwood brakes back there, but this is pretty damn cool. It's basically a GTR style build, and we've got Brit bucket seats in there, more carbon fiber inside. Then you have the back, again, more carbon fiber additions. You can see the tail light casings, the rear bumper trim, and this nice little rear wing at the back. That looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really pops in the red as well. Okay, this is an incredibly historically significant Porsche, 1952 356 America Roadster. So this is actually the car that earned Porsche its first ever overall outright victory in a race. I think it was a classic race in Pennsylvania. It's a long name that I don't even want to attempt to pronounce, but it's super cool. It's restored to its original livery, and this is number 2 of only 16 aluminum cars that were built. So you can see the green wheels, the green stripes, the caged headlights, obviously for racing, are super cool. The leather straps, a lot of cool little accents, and even the passenger side has the green cover over it. Yeah, so this may not look like it, but it is a competition race car, and as I mentioned, just so significant, so the value must be through the roof. I'll back up a little bit more here so we can get a good angle of the back of the number 2 of 16 aluminum chassis 356 America Roadster. Got the AMG GT Black Series Project 1 Edition. So I think if you saw my Drive Festival video, we did see one of these back there as well. It was kind of hard to get a good look at it because of the ropes around the car. Thankfully here at the Detroit Concours, we don't have the ropes. So this one is special for this like F1 style livery it has on with the Tri-Stars and the Patronus colored stripes, because you could only get that livery and this Project 1 Edition if you ordered the Project 1 hypercar. Now, of course, in North America, the Project 1 didn't end up being road legal, so they're never going to come here. So you basically just ended up with one really expensive option, and it's this car right here. So they're very, very rare and pretty damn cool to see. This Allard J2 beside the Project 1 Black Series, just really, really cool. I don't know too much about the Allard brand, but it is a historical race car that does look awesome. I love these spare tires hanging off of the side here, and just the raised casing for the cylinder heads is such a cool, unique touch that I don't think I've really seen on another race car before. But yeah, inside, pretty bare bones, as you would expect from a race car of this era. This 675 LT Spider, obviously very rare on its own, just one of 500, but this one in particular, if my eyes are not deceiving me, I believe it's MSO Delta Red. So it has like a bit of an orange hue to it. I hope it's showing up on the camera because it's really nice. And the interior is also quite unique as well. You get the white bucket seats with the red seat belts. Very, very good looking. But as you shift around to the back, you can sort of see a bit more orange as we shift around in the light. So it looks red from one angle, orange from another angle. That's what's really cool about the Delta Red. And we shift over here. There's a couple more McLarens, 570S, 720 Spider, but then over here do have a nice 765 LT, the successor to the 675. This one does have some MSO bits on it as well. The roof intake is something that everybody should get on their 765 LT. Just looks so damn good, and I'm a huge fan of white cars with black accents. So this is probably how I would do my 765 LT as well. That looks so good from the front too. Look at that. Look at this Buick Century here, 1975. This is a factory livery. This isn't a wrap. This is a pace car edition that comes with this Free Spirit livery. This is one of the most American looking cars I have ever seen, with the eagle on the side. It was meant to commemorate Buick's 1975 pace car for the Indy 500. You can see there the license plate, Indy 75. And yeah, you just get this cool livery on it. I'm showing you guys this 997 Turbo S. Well, I mean, it's a really cool car to start with, but this color in particular, I've never seen before, and I don't think many people have. It's called Ipanema. I hope I'm saying that right. Apparently it's named after a beach in Rio de Janeiro. But one of the rarest stock colors from Porsche ever. Yeah, if you guys have seen another Porsche in this color, please let me know because I have not. But it looks absolutely beautiful. And the fact it's on a Turbo S makes it that much cooler too. That is one damn desirable 911 right there.
Maybe circle back around and come in where you came in this morning.
There it goes, guys. Enzo Ferrari's own 250 California Spider. Absolutely priceless. That is ridiculous.
Anyway, it is a Chrysler Viper, not a Dodge Viper, that means this one.
I've been corrected. Marissa's from San Diego.
Great one.
Well, guys, there you have it. The Detroit Concours d'Elegance. A huge shout out to Hagerty and all of the owners, the organizers, the sponsors. It's a great event, as you can see. The diversity of cars here is absolutely mega, and that's the big thing I want to push with this channel. It's not specifically supercars or JDM or anything like that. It's a mix of everything, and this show does a great job of showcasing a bunch of cool cars. So guys, maybe let me know what your favorite was in the comments. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys next time.